I'm Joyce Lay, Member of Parliament, Taita Taveta County. I'm a mother of one 4-year-old Terence Lay. I wasn't born barren. I was a young mother at 19, and my son then passed away at age of two years old through yellow fever. After some time, I had pains in my lower stomach, and at some point, I had to go through a process called corn biopsy, because the doctor who was, trying to do all kind of tests on me was suspecting maybe I have, cancer of the cervix. So they wanted to go and test for cancer of the cervix. So I went through that process, corn biopsy, where they cut, like a specimen from my cervix. And of course, I'm happy because it was negative, so there were no signs of cancer. But meanwhile, the pain kept on going on, and I had to seek for a second opinion. So I got a very nice doctor at Nairobi Hospital, and that's when they found out that my tubes had blocked for some time, and because they were not treated on time, I had to undergo a surgery to remove my fallopian tubes. Of course, it was a painful process and painful procedure, and even healing, because once you remove your fallopian tubes as a woman, I mean that's a hope that you're holding on to conceive naturally. So the first surgery was in 2007, and the healing process was very good. I think by 2 weeks I was up, and running and doing my business as normal. Immediately after, like in 2008, I started now experiencing very sharp pains, and my menstrual cycle also was kind of disturbed, because sometimes I could bleed like throughout the month. I could not understand what was causing that pain again. So I had to go back to the gyna, and the gyna told me it's because of the first procedure, the corn biopsy that was done on me. Because after that, when the cervix tried to heal, it closed up. It formed a scar tissue around it, so it closed up. So every month I'll go through that pain. I'd go to the hospital for dilation, and the bleeding was severe. It was heavy bleeding. At that time you married. You're like, okay, you're married, you're expecting to have a baby, and then now you start going through these issues and through the problems, and it was very difficult for me, and very difficult for my husband too. But I thank my husband then, because he stood by me, and he saw me through that pain. At some point he was like, we have to find a permanent solution to this, because it was getting too much. He saw me going through that pain, and he could not stand it anymore. Several visits to my doctor, and my doctor was like, the only permanent solution is to go through hysterectomy, so that now we can remove your uterus and your cervix, and that will stop, the bleeding. And in 2008, I had to make this very difficult decision, because now going through hysterectomy, that means all your hopes of getting a baby, are done. It took me some time to make that decision, but I had to come, my heart had to be at peace for me to be able to do that. Because at that time I'm like, I want a baby. I want to be called a mother. And there's this difficult choice that you have to make between your life, your health, and you wanting a baby. So I made that decision, and in 2008 I went back for another major surgery, and they did hysterectomy, removed my uterus and my cervix. In an African culture, people get married within a year. There's a lot of pressure from family, from friends, because they're expecting children immediately. It is a shared responsibility. We need to encourage couples to talk about infertility issues. It's 2015. As Kenyans, we've come a long way. We call ourselves a digital country. So how can we be digital when we have culture and traditions that keep holding us back? The law that is in place right now says that a woman who gives birth is the mother of the baby, full stop. We have to change this law. So let me talk about the bill that we have in Parliament, the IVF bill. The IVF bill recognizes every woman who gets children through the IVF process are recognized by law as a mother of the baby, and they are able to get their children's birth certificate when the kids are born. So we are pushing for that bill to make sure that there is accessibility, not just in Nairobi, not just in Mombasa, but in every county. As members of Parliament, we have to make sure that every level 5 hospital in the country has an IVF clinic and also has all other facilities and every other medical process, so that every woman and all couples that are going through infertility issues have accessibility, and also the cost of it is affordable.